Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the last video of November. Oh my goodness, but we have some fun things for you. So let's quit chatting and let's get to crafting. Okay, DIY number one. So I have a 12 by 12 wood sign. I'm going to paint it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White. I'm going to paint both front and back. And then once it was all done, I took this Chalk Couture stencil. It's called Mistletoe Patterns. It's new this year. And since it's the first time I used it, I'm going to fuzz it. Now, if you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, it is a self-adhesive silkscreen stencil. And we fuzz it the first time we use it so that it doesn't pull up the paint when you pull this off of your item. So once I had it fuzzed, I'm going to lay it in place, and then I'm going to use my chalk paste in the color Ivory. I'm going to go over all of the green, the leaves, and then I'm going to use Cherry to go over all the berries. And I'm going to do it in little sections, and then I'm going to pull it up and then lay it back down and smooth it all out. I do that so that the chalk paste doesn't dry on the silk screen. If that happens, then when you remove your stencil, it's going to pull all of your paste up, and it gives it a horrible look. Ask me how I know. But anyways, I'm going to do that all the way down. Now, I am a Chalk Couture designer. If you are interested in it at all, I do have a link to it in my description box below. You can check out my page, or you can always email me. I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. But I usually recommend trying our Club Couture for 3 months just to get a feel for it if you'd like. But there are other subscriptions available as well. So just check that out, or send me a message if you have any questions at all. So once I had that done, I just removed it and I went and washed it right away. And then I took this sign from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the hanger. And I rubbed my finger across the front, and that etching, I couldn't really feel it. So I thought, well, maybe I could paint over this. And I put 2 coats of white chalk paint by Waverly. But I could still see the writing on the back, the etching. And I thought, well, it's barely noticeable. Maybe if I stencil over it, which was what I was planning on doing, you won't be able to see it. So I created the stencil with my Cricut. Stencil, whatever. I created it with my Cricut, and I'm going over it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Crimson, and then I'm going to go over the leaf part with Antique by Folk Art. Now, if you don't have a cutting machine, you could definitely do something like this with a regular stencil. It would be very nice as well. Or you could do stickers, that would work too. So after I had all the red in, that's when I went in with my antique green and colored in the leaves. You guys, I love this. I think this turned out so beautiful, but I have to say, if you look close, you can still see the etching of this sign. So if you want to recreate this, and you have one of these signs, I would recommend painting the back and doing the back because, yeah, it bugs the heck out of me that if you're looking at it pretty close up, you can still see the wording and stuff in the background. But I'm trying to cover it up because I could still notice it here. So I thought, well, I'm going to take some of these garland picks from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to glue it around the edge here. That will kind of help hide some of the outline that's etched into that. And I was still not very happy with it. I'm like, oh, I could still see it. And I was kicking myself because I thought maybe I should just do the back side of it, and now I wish I would have, but oh well. And then I decided, okay, I didn't like all the white around the edge. So I took my antique wax and I'm just going to brush it all on the frame part of this sign, just around the edge. And see, if you did the back part, you could still do this and make it look like a frame. Excuse me. And then after that, I took my sign, my 12 by 12 sign that I made. I'm going to mark these bamboo sticks I get from Amazon. I'm going to cut 2 of them down, And then I'm just going to go over them with my antique wax. I'm just going to brush it all on. I don't think I wiped it off with a paper towel because I wanted that darker look. And then once it was dry, I took my Tite Bond Quick and Thick Multi-Surface Glue. I'm going to glue those in place, one on the top, one on the bottom. And then I'm going to just use the little clamps from Dollar Tree to hold them in place for a few minutes. Then I took my Tite Bond glue and I put it all along the back of my sign here. And then I'm just going to put it right in the middle of this. Look how beautiful that is. But because I could still see some of that etching, I had some of these little molds that I had made last week sitting on the side of me. And I thought maybe if I add them to the sign, that will kind of help cover up some of those big open spots, so it will kind of disguise that etching a little bit better. And so I just went ahead and glued those on. And then I had some just leaves. So I took 3 little berries, cut off the wires from the bottom, and just glued them in place. And then glued those leaves on the sides of them so that it looked like holly berry and leaves. And I think it came out pretty cute, at least that part of it. So yeah, and then once that was all done, I did give it some time to rest, and then I'm going to mark where I'm going to put my hanger, and I'm just going to take some twine, tie knots on the ends, and staple it in the back, and there it is. I just think it is so pretty. I just wish I would have used the back. But you'll have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Well, here we are, the last video in November. I can't believe it. This month has gone by way too quickly, but I'm not going to mourn it because we have a whole new month ahead, right? Anyways, before we continue on with the video, I know tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I just want to say how thankful I am for all of you who return and watch my videos, and who comment, who like this video, who share it, who hype it when you can find the hype button. I am so thankful for all of you, and I am grateful and I am blessed because of all of you. So thank you so much. It really does support me and my family. This is my job, and I know my money that I make on here is nothing compared to what I used to make. But it does bring me a lot more joy and a lot more peace in my life. And that is, there's no price for that. And I'm thankful that I am able to do this right now in my life. And so I couldn't do it without you guys who watch my videos. And so I just greatly appreciate all of you guys, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if you're new here and you enjoy home decor on a budget, if you enjoy crafting, I would love it if you would become part of my YouTube family as well. That would mean the world to me. And so with all of that, you guys, I'm going to make this short, and I'm just going to say I hope you all have a wonderfully blessed Thanksgiving, whether you're with friends, family, or even alone. I hope that you feel the peace of God in your life today, and have something to be thankful for, even if it's something minor. So with all of that, let's continue on with the video. Okay, DIY number 2. So I'm taking one of these houses from Dollar Tree, and I'm using my heat gun here to help release the glue so I can remove that little sign that's on the front. And then once that popped off, I used my heat gun a little bit more on this fabric that's on there, and then I just had to pull. Sometimes this stuff comes off really, really easy, and sometimes it doesn't. And this time it did not want to release. So I kept using my heat gun, just putting it over that to kind of help release some of that adhesive, and then just pulled really hard. And then I just did the same thing with the top part there. I didn't need it, so I didn't care if it broke, and I'm just going to pull it all off. Then after that, I just took my finger sander and I just gave it a good sanding to get all the rest of that fabric residue and glue off of it. And then I'm going to paint it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. After it was dry, I'm going to take some I'm going to put some Mod Podge. I forgot about this part. I'm going to brush it along the front of my house and let it dry. And then I'm going to take this napkin one of my subscribers sent me. I just thought it was so pretty and so sweet. I actually was going to use this summer for Christmas in July, and I never got a chance to. So I knew I really wanted to use it this year. So I'm going to lay it, after I removed the ply behind it, I laid it on that house, and then I'm going to take my parchment paper here. I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to go over it with my heat press. The parchment paper protects the napkin. The heat press reactivates that Mod Podge so that it sticks. And then when I went over it again with a light coat of Mod Podge for that protective layer. This is where I took the tumbling tower blocks. I'm going to use my Tite Bond glue and a little bit of hot glue to glue them in place alongside my house. I kind of wanted this to look a little more like a stable. So that's why I use these. And these were the ones that were already painted. I didn't paint them at all. They were in the tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. Some of them are painted, some of them aren't, which usually I hate that they do that, but this time it worked out really good. So I'm just going to glue those in place now. You see there's just a little spot there that that needed to be covered. So I took my miter shears and I'm just going to cut one of those tumbling tower blocks. And then I'm going to use my Tite Bond glue and hot glue to glue it in place. And I'm just going to use the Tite Bond on the end. And then I was going to use it on the bottom. And no, just hot glue to hold it immediately and the Tite Bond permanently. And I did that on both sides. And then I'm going to do that again on the bottom. There was, it was, the opening was too small for a full tumbling tower block, so I'm just going to cut it down. I marked where I wanted to cut it. That one was giving me problems. I didn't want to cut. Sometimes these things cut really easy and sometimes they don't. And then after I was done with that, I took some 1/2-inch letters, wood letters I got from Amazon, and this wood star from Amazon. I think, I don't remember where I got the stars. So I've had them in my stash forever. I painted them gold with Glorious Gold by DECOR metallic paint. I'm going to add some garland picks from Hobby Lobby all along the inside part of my stable here. I just thought it gave it a little bit more of a Christmassy feel around it. And plus, I didn't really like all the white on the top. I was trying to decide if I should paint it more of that dusk blue. I wasn't sure if that would really match. So instead, I decided to take my Tite Bond glue and just wipe it along the back of my letters. And I'm just going to put this right above the top of that napkin. And I see pictures all the time with Santa that says believe. And I thought, why not a nativity? Because we all should believe in Jesus because he is our savior. And there it is. I just think this turned out so simple and so sweet. I just love it. I hope you do too as well. Let me know in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for celebration of your recreations. And I love these snow people, Mr. and Mrs. Snowman. They are adorable. Thank you, Brenda. You did a great job. And no, it's not me. And then we have Lynn, who made all these lovely pieces. I love that little gingerbread, what do they call it? I call it a little pie tin, but I think it was a soda cap. Anyways, Beth made this cute abominable snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It is adorable. She'd always wanted one and she made one. I love it. Thank you, ladies. And if you have something that you've created lately that you would like me to showcase for you, you can email me pictures to rusticandlacediy@gmail.com, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, final DIY. I only have 3 for you guys today. So DIY number 3. It's been a busy week. Oh my goodness, you guys, this one I had a hard time. I was not in the creative mood and I was pushing myself to do another project. And oh my goodness, I had a hard time. So I got this napkin from Kathy Jo, and I really loved it, and I wanted to use it. And I don't know why it said Christmas on the bottom when it said Merry Christmas on top. So I cut off the Christmas on the bottom. I laid it down on this tag sign that I got from Amazon. I do believe it's in my Amazon store, which the link is in the description box. I traced it out, and I'm going to paint the inside of that where I traced it with Snow White, and then the rest of it with my folk art antique green, and then the other one with the green as well. And then on the white part, I'm just going to use my Mod Podge, brush it all on, let it dry, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this tag sign. I'm going to brush on all of that Mod Podge, and I did a heavier coat because we are going to put some paper on it, and it's a little thicker. So I'm going to lay that paper down, and I'm going to cover it with some parchment paper and go over it with my heat brush, just like I did with everything else. And you guys, I just felt like with everything, this was just not working out. It was horrible. But once I got this piece on there, I took another piece and I connected it. I didn't trim it down. I wish I would have cut that piece down to fit a little bit better, because it would have been easier for me to see the outline of the tag sign. Here I was just struggling with knowing where to use my heat press there, and yeah, it was not good. Anyways, I finally got it all on there, and I trimmed all that excess paper off. I went over it with some more Mod Podge, and then it bubbled up on me, and it bubbled up big time. And I ended up using my heat gun to get the bubbles out and get it to reconnect to that Mod Podge. But you guys, I was just really struggling this day. So once I got all of this on there, I guess I'm showing you doing the napkin. Did I show you that part already? I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, this is where I'm trimming off all the paper. You get what I'm doing, I'm sure. Then I laid it together here, and I'm tracing out where I'm going to lay my top tag sign. Well, I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was covering up the hole, the hanger hole on the top tag sign. So you'll see what I do later, but I add my tight bond glue. I put this on top. I painted these snowflakes. I think they all came from Hobby Lobby with that Glorious Gold by DECOR. And then once they were all dry, I laid them out like I wanted, and I'm just going to brush on some of that tight bond glue behind the snowflakes. I'm going to put them all around my top tag sign, and then the 3 on the side of the bottom tag sign, just like you see them laid out. And I don't know, you guys, I hope you like this. My verdict is out. I wasn't sure if this green was going to match that paper. I showed my husband, and he goes, oh yeah, it looks great. But then after, it's like, oh, it's a lot brighter than I was hoping for. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I decided to glue some of the gold cording around that napkin just to kind of hide that edge, but yet to bring it all together. And then I used some, this is where I took my big mouth crocodile and made that hole because I had covered up with the back tag sign. And then I took some of that gold cording, and I'm going to just make a loop, tie knots on the end, put the looped part through that hole, and then thread it through the tied part. And then I'm going to put that knot in the back and put a little dab of hot glue to hold that in place. And that's all I did for this one. And oh my goodness, it's okay. It's not my favorite. But I love that napkin. You have to let me know what you think of this mess as well. And the final reveal is coming right up. You guys, I thank you so much for watching today. And I know this is a busy time, and a lot of you are probably really busy, but I just appreciate you stepping by and watching. And I hope all of you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I will be back again on the 1st with the first of the month challenge. So with all of that, you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving and a wonderful weekend. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.